does have a good eye for quality antiques, I must say.
Shh! She'll find me.
The statue reaches toward the sky, as though preparing to take flight. The bottom drops out from within you. She lifts you up, up, up.
What's this? I found something.
The water
Now we'll see what Ken was
rises
hiding.
and falls on Lord Ken's command.
The bloom opens before your eyes, resplendent and regal. It emits a sweet, subtle scent, like that of a rose, though more intoxicating. Your whole body flushes. You're sure you must be glowing, so deep does the warmth dwell.
Sorrow. Our joy shall be the God-woken's sorrow. Our joy sorrow.
The unusual bloom continues unabated, as if parroting someone's words rather than speaking of its own accord.
The advocate is dead. The doctor is in. The advocate. The prey offers itself. Take it. The prey offers. Take it.
The flower has gone quiet.
The water rises and falls on Lord Ken's command.
So this is where Ken hides his most ancient valuables. What's this? I found something. What's this? I found something.
Intruder! Intruder!
I'm ready.
Force radiating from the Golem. We can't defeat it while it contains such power.
What's this? I found something. I've spotted something.
The ghost looks around the room with an incredulous shake of his head and fixates on the set of paintings before him.
What a fool I've been. Thieving was the best chance I had of keeping afloat in this wretched city. Never thought that would mean trying to impress a band of urchins, let alone getting crushed by a damn golem. Big Tomorrow said they'd let me in their grubby little guild if I helped them nab that painting of Chem's, the second Passion of Lucian. Well, we made it in all right, and while Chem's constructs tore me to shreds, they all ran off with a painting. If you don't know her, it's best to keep it that way. That thieves' guild of hers is a cutthroat bunch of young'uns.
The first Passion of Lucian. I believe this is the real deal. The third Passion of Lucian. Now this is art. Lucian's glorious return. This is what everyone's waiting for.
Arks, City of Secrets it is. And you know what happens to the most...
I've spotted something.
lies on the floor, her essence all but drained from her frail bones. She shifts with a light clatter at the sight of you.
The God King's punishment awaits. I pray it arrives soon. This is what becomes of the King's fallen angels. Torture, decay. I came for the Swornbreaker. I found only Kem's fury. A shrine to the God King. Linda Kem's holy refuge. And, it seems, my tomb. It's a hope I can't afford myself. But if you should ever offer such a gift, I wouldn't refuse it.
A dagger of pain shoots through your head, halting your advance instantly. You hear a voice, soft and calm, yet laced with disappointment.
Nice.
Such a long journey you have undertaken, in the service of thieving charlatans, in pursuit of that which you will never obtain.
A long, sad sigh reaches you from the depths of the void itself.
I saw your abysmal treatment of my servant Isbale. Please, test my patience no further. This is your last chance. Abandon this folly, leave, and never return.
The voice fades away, and with it, the pain.
Look, onto the shrine. There's a pressure plate.
Only the God King knows the weight of responsibility. Only the God King knows the weight of responsibility.
There's someone here. He seems to be in great pain.
Won't budge. Don't worry, Chief. I'm on high alert.
The man before you writhes in pain, oblivious to you. Otherworldly shackles are coiled all around him. The man raises his head with an anguished groan.
could find.
I am Ahu. Well, your search is at an end. Apologies if you were expecting a more convivial setting.
He coughs up a gout of blood. Before he can respond to your criticism, his eyes roll back and he passes out from the pain. The man doesn't respond to you. The spirit ignores you, focused as it is on tearing the source from its captive. It stinks of dark magic. There's nothing in the spirit but pain, its own and that of its captive. He resists the agony, but it's only a matter of time before the spirits tear his source away. The pain begins to hurt you too. The spirit seizes the pain you inflict upon it and turns it back on you. The pain you share nears unbearable levels, and the spirit begins to smile. This is the pinnacle of its existence. And then it exists no more. The pain it gave you ebbs away.
Stop! I told you to leave! You're going to kill me! Just go, damn you!
He shudders as fresh waves of pain course through him.
Leave, while you still have a chance. And don't touch the...
He passes out mid-sentence from the pain. The dark stench assails you. The spirit concentrates on tearing the source from its captive. The spirit seizes the pain you inflict upon it and turns it back on you. And then it exits.
Stop! Yeah! Stop! Please stop! The pain! It's too much!
His face goes slack as the pain renders him senseless. The man is oblivious to you. The dark stench assails you. The spirit and then it...
I can't fight. I'm too weak. Please.
Pain only, no mutilation. Master.
Why, Ahu? I didn't know you had so many admirers. Come in, come in. I'm sure you have so many questions for me, but they can wait. First, I'd like to introduce you to an old friend.
Wendigo appears in a flash, bound and broken. Her bones are the color of old ash, and her teeth crooked and yellowed.
I found her snooping around my estate, and I don't like it when people touch my things.
Wendigo's shattered form recoils as Kem raises his hand. Kem pretends not to hear you. He looms over Wendigo, a behemoth in contrast to her pathetic frame.
I'd rather spend an eternity floating in void to one spent in bondage. Send me to the king.
As you wish. Now then, my dear Lord Ahu, you should have told me to expect visitors.
Run, you fools!
I might ask you the same. This place is mine, after all, and Ahu was my prisoner.
Why, Kem? Why betray everything for which you once stood?
Betray? I didn't betray the Order. I liberated it. As one of Lucian's pawns, I stood for weakness, frailty. And then the God King showed me the world as it could be. He made me a promise. He promised me a path unburdened by Lucian's pathetic need to defend the defenseless. He promised me a world dominated by the worthiest bloodlines across the ages. He promised me a lasting seat at his glorious table in return for my oath. For the king chooses only the strongest, the most loyal, the most deserving.
And now, Godwoken, I uphold the final act of my oath. Your execution. You can forget about finding Lucian. Believe me, no good comes from our so-called divine.
That poison peddler. A swamp frog is a more potent warrior. Let me show you the power of the king's true chosen.
With a glint in the dark of his eye, the spirit of Kem sneers at you.
I am sworn to the king, and sworn I remain, Godwoken. I owe you nothing. My aims were, are, no less than the God King's triumph. That's all you could know. Enough! Is it not obvious to you? To own this city is to own the cathedral, to own the tomb, to own Lucian. Lucian is the key. The Seven may be dead, but their essence still lives within his rotting corpse. When the God King claims that final pearl of divinity, his reign will begin. Imagine it, Godwoken, a pure and perfect world. Cowards will no longer beg for scraps at warriors' feet. The fruits of our own labor will belong only to us. The divinity held within Lucian's cadaver belongs only to the King's chosen. And you are not worthy. My master requires nothing less than the dead divine lying in its most famous tomb. There is still the wisp of the Seven residing within him, a single wisp separating the rightful king from his kingdom. It matters not if you defeat every last Lich whose bones have risen in my master's honor, Godwoken. With or without me, with or without Ishmael, the God King rises. What? No! No! This was not the deal! This was not the deal! I will return! I will return!
The spirit watches you, composed and dignified even in death.
Of course you do, Godwoken. Why else would you seek out a tired old spectre like myself? But what you ask was expressly forbidden by the Divine. Lucian was so intent his tomb remained sacred that he enacted the sorcerer pogrom. Better to silence all sorcerers than to chance a god-woken arising and entering. His paranoia was so great, he saw to it that his tomb was turned into a fortress to thwart the likes of you. I swore to uphold his wishes, but that was before the Voidwoken. I know. And I think Lucian would have concurred, if he was still with us. I will help you. I am not one to break an oath lightly. But I'm also not one to ignore the truth. Not when it's written in my own blood. The void nears. I'd sooner the future be in the hands of a Godwoken than with the Black Ring. Nobody knows every step of the way to Lucian's tomb. But I'll do what I can for you. First, you must get past the Path of Blood. An amulet filled with source paired with the Scroll of Atonement will let you by unharmed. A man named Saunders was the engineer who designed the Path of Blood. He works as a toy seller now, right here in Arx. Tell him that I sent you. He will give you what you need. Put the amulet on and charge it up by consuming source. Once it's got 5 charges in it, it'll be ready to go. Bring the amulet and the scroll to the Path of Blood. By the statue of Lucian, there is a hidden mechanism. Set the fully charged amulet in the hidden receptacle, then read from the scroll. But beware, many obstacles remain. I can help with only one. The Death Room is a chamber of many levers. 5 will lead you closer to your goal. The rest will lead you to your death. Each lever is named for a virtue of the divine. Find the levers whose initials spell the word power. Select these 5 and these alone. Then ask. The divine cannot be asked such questions, Godwoken. Besides, I trusted him. He must have had his reasons. I just hope he'll forgive me for breaking the oath I swore. He said that if anyone were to approach his remains, then the world would be left vulnerable to the void. It was not for me to question how, only to serve. Farewell, Godwoken. The Hall of Echoes beckons me.
Windigo's spirit quakes. She is no longer the arrogant banshee that summoned a kraken and brought down a magister vessel, but a fearful child bracing for parental punishment.
He's close, so close. Can't you feel him, Godwoken? The king approaches.
A moment of silence passes, and then Windigo's scream splits the air.
He's tearing away my soul, Godwoken. Cast me to the void if you must, but do not let him take me.
Windigo's spirit flutters and writhes. Your skull squeezes tight, and your throat burns with fire, but the substance of her being is nearly yours. Your head shrieks as if split in two as the God King severs your link to the spirit. Windigo looks to you in horror as the king seizes his property and collects on her promise. Windigo's spirit quakes.
He's close. So close.
A moment of silence.
He's tearing away my soul.
Windigo's spirit flutters and writhes. Your head shrieks as if... Windigo's spirit quakes. She is no longer...
He's close. So close. Can't you feel it?
A moment of silence.
He's tearing away my soul, Godwork.
Windigo's spirit flutters and writhes. Your skull squeezes tight, and your throat burns with fire, but the substance of her being is nearly yours. Your head shrieks as if split in two by the God King's umbrage, but you have overcome. Windigo's source funnels into you in steady gushes as you sling her spirit into the void.